Right, part of the archives collection are two uniforms. The first one is an RAF uniform. This gentleman here didn't serve at RAF Harrowbeer. He was serving at RAF Middle Wallop, but his parents lived in Crapstone by the War Memorial. He would quite often get permission from his station commander at Middle Wallop to fly into Harrowbeer, where he would taxi down to the War Memorial end, jump over the fence, have dinner with Mum and Dad, back into the Spitfire and back to Middle Wallop.
And he was called Lieutenant...
His name is...
Lieutenant Brown.
That's right, Charlie Brown.
I wonder if he was ever in here in his uniform, in this building.
It is possible that he may have passed through from some time or other. It would be nice to think so.
I think he would have been in here.
Yeah.
That's a thought, isn't it?
Right. This particular uniform here is representing a chap called Sub-Lieutenant Hayward, who was with 838 Fleet Air Arm Squadron, and he went out in a fairy swordfish, and each fairy swordfish had 3 people in it. On the 30th of April 1944, 14 swordfish aircraft went out on an operation at midnight. 3 of the aircraft, as soon as they got to their destination, their target area, were shot down. 9 boys lost their lives, of which Sub-Lieutenant Hayward was one of them. The sad part is they were given wrong coordinates. They were sent to the wrong destination. They were to be looking for minesweepers. Reporting back, they were sent to a beached Elbing German destroyer, which was heavily guarded by anti-aircraft guns. Needless to say, once they got back to the airfield here, the officer concerned had already been posted on.
Well, today we have remembered his name.
We certainly have. We lost 70 boys from here, and all 70 of those will never be forgotten.
Let's go through the door. This is your archive.
This is what I call the nerve centre. In here is where a lot of the computerisation work is done. I trawl through various magazines, books, the internet, information that comes in from the general public, and have got a plethora of archives ranging in heaven knows how many folders. All available for anybody to see at any time. They just have to come into the tea rooms, ask for me, and they're welcome to look at it.
And it's free, isn't it?
It's free. I do ask for a donation, which does help towards the photocopying and purchase of various items and articles. A photograph can cost anything from a £5 up to £30–40, so it's not cheap. In front of me here I've got 2 items of very good interest. The first one here is an incendiary bomb, a German incendiary bomb. There were over 200,000 to 300,000 of these dropped on Plymouth during the Blitz 1941 to 42 of Plymouth. They contained phosphorus, magnesium. When they exploded, they burnt with an extreme heat. The way they were normally dealt with was they got a stirrup pump and doused them with water. The trouble with that was that some of them had a fluid in there. When the fluid mixed with the water, all it did was spread the fire. So they came up with an invention of a Redhill scoop and shovel and a sand bucket. The idea there was to put the sand over the incendiary bomb to extinguish the oxygen to help make it burn. Once they were satisfied the incendiary bomb was out, the shovel and rake would be split into 2, picked up, put into the bucket and are taken away for disposal. The other item here is an Aldis signalling lamp. They were used very many forms. On the airfield here they were being used probably at the watch office, which would be out in the middle of the airfield there.
Could we explain what the name watch office means? Because I know and you know that today it means something the same but a different word, isn't it?
Yeah, the watch office was the original Air Ministry terminology for the building where the control of air traffic was done from.
And how did we come to call it a control tower today?
That was due to the Americans coming in at the end of 1942, and they brought the word control tower with them.
And that's what we have today, isn't it?
That's what is now commonly known as. But the correct terminology is a watch office.
Why did we have to have an Aldis lamp?
The Aldis lamp was used mainly for signalling purposes, and one would have been held in the watch office, and it would be used by the flight controller to signal to the aircraft, which has possibly lost communication for one reason or another, or just to keep quiet so that it was a silent approach. We have an eyesight, goes through, one would look through there, and there's a trigger on the side which you could tap.
And that would make the light flash
And
on,
that would
off,
make-
on, off, on, off.
That's right, dot, 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 dash, 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 dot, 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 SOS. Mayday, mayday, I need help.
Mike, again, thank you.